Excellent. In your analytic work, you'll often need to apply several operations to your data until you can say that you've manipulated it in the desired way. In response to this, Python, as an object-oriented language, provides a technique referred to as chaining. To explore it, we'll start by directly applying into practice two of its versions. We can call them attribute chaining and method chaining with pandas. Now, let's get right to doing some attribute chaining. First, we'll import data from our location CSV file and store it into a series called location data. The latter will be our example object. Then, we can refer to the index attribute to see that this series contains 1043 elements. In the same fashion, we can request the name attribute to show us if this column has a name. It does, actually, and its location. Attribute chaining allows us to sequentially refer to the values obtained by the different attributes. I believe an example will make it much easier to grasp, so let's take a look at one. We'll step on the first of the two attributes we used, which was index. Then, to proceed by immediately referring to the other attribute, we need to type .name. As we execute the cell, we obtain no output. This means that the range index object associated with the given series has no name. Please note that the name we are referring to here is different from the name of the series. Therefore, we can make use of attribute chaining to assign the string index, written with a capital I, as the name of the series index. To achieve that, we need to assign the string index and execute the expression. That's why we will probably see index at the top left part of the output once we display the contents of the location data series. Let's execute location data to confirm our expectations. We see index just above the default integer indexing. As a final check, we can apply .index.name to obtain index as a separate string as well. Great! Method chaining, which is a way more popular technique, works in the same way, but it applies to methods. So, let's just see it in action. Apply the sort values method to our location data. This will deliver 10 rows of output and some metadata. Say we're interested in only the first 5 of these rows. Then, we can directly chain the head method in the same statement to obtain the top 5 rows from the series only. Type .head and run the cell to do that. Nice! Analogously, we could have chained tail at the end to obtain the last 5 rows from our object. Is this correct? Yes, it is. Perfect. In this lecture, we discovered that chaining is a valuable technique for our data analyst tool belt. However, Python can surprise us by taking this feature a step further. As an object-oriented language, Python allows you to logically focus on the object as well as what you want to obtain from it. So, there is no problem to once refer to an attribute of a given object and then chain a method as long as this can lead you to the desired output. Think of our range index object again. It contains all integers from 0 to 1042. Assuming we wanted to convert it into a NumPy array now, we can directly apply the toNumPy method to the given expression. As we execute this cell, we observe the same values stored in an array. Great! Now that you saw how method chaining works in Python, let's finish up by providing a slightly more technical description of the process. Method chaining organizes and applies several method calls on a certain object in a given order. Each call performs its action and returns what you can think of as an intermediate output. This one acts as a new object to which the next method from the chain will perform its action. In other words, every next method from the chain respects the value returned by the previous one. However, the beauty of this technique is namely that we are not required to explicitly store such intermediate output or intermediate result, or intermediately return values, if you wish. Thus, method chaining saves you the time necessary for creating a variable and thinking of a relevant name. Thank you for watching.